Welcome back to my channel, Queen's Generational Wellness. I am your host, Miss Flowers. Because I talk to people on a regular basis, and a lot of people they're stuck when it comes to their health. And it's not even that they're stuck. It's the fact that they claim they don't know what to do, but they actually do know what to do. And they're complaining about, I'm having stomach problems, I'm having this problem, I'm having that. And me being the person that I am and how I listened to my body when my body was telling me something's not right, I'm trying to get people to understand, if you listen to your body will tell you that something's not right. We're having the same conversations all the time. Something's wrong. I don't know what's wrong. I go to the doctor. They don't know what's wrong. And I'm like, well, maybe you need to go to a different doctor and get a second opinion and change the way that you eat. A lot of things that's going on in our lives regarding our health is connected to the way we eat. And if a lot of people would just really think, after I eat cheese, I feel this way. After I eat this, I feel this way. After I eat a salad, I feel great. After I do this, I feel great. If people would really sit down and listen to their body, listen to your body, listen to what your body is saying to you, and stop thinking some of this stuff is normal. Heartburn is not normal. Acid reflux is not normal. Some of these things that people have going on, this is not normal. You should not have to be in pain to eat something. I know people that have gout and they're like, oh, I don't know why my gout's flaring. Well, figure out the foods that's making it flare and stop eating them. And I know I make it sound like it's easier said than done, but after a while, it kind of gets to the point where you're just going in circles. You're going in circles with the same thing over and over again. When are you going to get to the point where this is bothering me? I'm going to do something about it. I had to get to that point. I had to talk to myself, and I had to say to myself, when I first went vegan, I was like, when did my stomach not bother me? When did I feel good? And at that time I was pushing 180, and people were like, oh no, you're tall, it looks good. And my knees are hurting. My knees hurt bad. My knees hurt. My ankles hurt. I don't care how good it looks. 180 was too much weight for me. So people were like, I had people telling me when I went vegan, like, your teeth are going to fall out. This is going to happen to you. Like it was a whole long list of bad things that can happen to you if you go vegan. Instead of, I lost 20 pounds. Actually, when I first go back, I was going to church at the time. We did something called the Daniel fast. We did it for 3 days. In 3 days, I lost 10 pounds. So when I had that conversation with myself, when was the last time that I felt like I felt good? My stomach wasn't bothering me. It was during that fast, which was only 3 days. And losing 10 pounds in 3 days, I was more backed up than anything. And a lot of people are so backed up. It's not even that your stomach is big. It's just that you don't use the bathroom on a regular basis. So if you're backed up, all that backed up sewage is in there. So of course it's making your stomach look bigger. Of course you're bloated. Of course you're constipated. So 10 pounds in 3 days was like, wow. Then I went back to eating how I was eating. After that, I ended up getting really sick. So I was like, you know what? When I was eating that way, I wasn't feeling sick. When I was eating that way, I didn't have to pop, a pill before bed because I had heartburn or because I had acid reflux or whatever that was going on at the time. And I was like, there has to be something to this. So then it took me a little while to figure out what kind of vegan I wanted to be, because there were so many different types of vegan. So I got to the point where when I first started out, I was alkaline vegan. And being alkaline vegan definitely fixed my problems, because I can't say certain words on here, but it definitely fixed my stomach problems. And I was fine. And before that, I went to the doctor and she wanted to give me, 5-6 pills to take, and you're lactose intolerant, you're this, you're that. And I was like, all right, it is what it is. But I never filled any of those prescriptions. And then she wanted me to come back and have a camera put down my nose to see what was going on in my stomach. And I was like, I'm not doing that. So I had to have a talk with myself, like I said. And then there was an incident when I was working in the school system. I'm allergic to cats. And one of the kids had a cat and it was unneutered. And it sprayed the book bag. So I had this serious reaction to it. And I need to go to that doctor because at that time I wasn't into herbs like I am now. So I didn't know what to do. So I went back to that doctor and she said, well, you're supposed to come back and get that, the camera put down your nose. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So I went to her. I just needed an inhaler because I couldn't breathe. And she says, well, what are you doing about your stomach issues? Just stop eating the things that was bothering my stomach. And she looked at me like I had 3 heads. And at that point, I was just like, she's not the doctor for me. So I had to figure things out on my own, and that's okay. But it took me longer to figure everything out. But I knew for me, listening to my body, paying attention to things that I put on my body, because it's not just what you put in your body, it's also what you put on your body. Burned my hand the other day. They gave me some creams to put on my hand. I burned my hand on a Friday. That Friday night after I left the burn unit, I had a headache for 3-4 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I had a headache the whole weekend. And I'm like, why do I have a headache? I hardly ever get headaches anymore since I went vegan. And I thought about it and I was like, let me go look up the side effects of these creams that I'm putting on my hand. And it had so many side effects. Headaches wasn't one of them, but everybody's different. Sunday night, I didn't put any of those creams on. I put vitamin E on my hand, wrapped it up, went to bed. Woke up in the morning, no headache. It's not just what you put in your body, it's also what you put in your body. A lot of us eat a lot of processed food and we don't read the labels. We don't read any labels. And a lot of times when people are allergic to things, it's because you didn't read the label, and some of that stuff that you're allergic to is in that label. It's in that food. Have milk in it. And it's just like, what's the purpose of having milk in this when it comes to certain things? And it just doesn't make sense to me. But milk, soy, canola oil, certain things is just like, and then I have people all the time, oh, I'm lactose intolerant. I can't believe I'm lactose intolerant. I heard a vegan one time say, you're not lactose intolerant, you're just not a baby cow. And it was hilarious, but it made a lot of sense. We do a lot of things that don't make sense when it comes to our eating habits, and then we wonder why we're sick. And it's okay to not know something, but once you know, you know. You know you can't eat ice cream anymore. So why are you still eating it? When there's other alternatives. Yes, and I know some of those alternatives are more expensive, but at the same time, I'd rather not eat it at all or pay the extra money. And I'm not saying that everybody should be vegan or everybody should go vegan, but to a certain extent, a lot of people don't eat fruit. A lot of people don't eat vegetables. A lot of people think corn is a vegetable. It's not a vegetable. And then I hear people say, oh, well, my grandmother and them, they used to eat like this. My grandmother and them used to do this. Your grandmother and them wasn't sitting watching Netflix all day. Your grandmother and them wasn't sitting at a job for 8 hours behind a desk. They was walking, they were working in factories, they were moving. They were doing stuff. Some of them even had gardens in their yard. So they ate fruits. They ate fruits and vegetables. It wasn't just pork chops and corn. They were eating vegetables. I grew up eating fruits and vegetables. If I went to my great aunt's house, whatever she cooked, it was going to have some kind of vegetable. It was going to have something in it. It was going to have some kind of vegetable in it, no matter what. So for me, it was easier to go vegan because I grew up eating those things. A lot of kids today, they do not eat fruits and vegetables at all. They act like it's the end of the world. And then people see my kids and they're like, your kids eat apples? Your kids eat this? Your kids, yeah. If you introduce them to that stuff when they're younger, they'll eat it. But a lot of people aren't doing that. I know somebody that said all their kid eats is cheese puffs. Like, come on. We got to do better, and we got to do better for our kids can do better. How is it that kids are diagnosed with diabetes? They're 5 years old. They're 3 years old. They have diabetes. And as a parent, you're sitting around talking about you don't know what's going on. But the whole pantry is filled with processed junk food and sugary snacks and all this crap, and you don't know what's going on. And I'll talk to you guys later.